there have been plenty of melee sorcerers. You've got like dragon claws and stuff.
You know what? I think he does have and he makes his characters a little weird.
Plus, every time he uses the dragon magic, he gets the AC bonus.
Oh, I guarantee he does not know that.
I'm pretty sure you need that to live.
Yeah, well. Two encounters in, he's already wounded one, so...
It's
Poor
not that
guy.
bad. We had a goblin that died the first session, like, second encounter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was Extinction Curse.
Well, I'm sure he'll be fine. I have already declared that I'm just here to keep you alive, sort of. It's said in character. It was kind of great.
It's like health insurance. The insurance company says we're here to keep you alive, but have you thought about just passing away?
Oh, the greatest thing I discovered when I was making this character is that I did not have to figure out a deity. So I chose for my druid to follow the laws of mortality. I just thought the concept was really neat.
The concept that people die when they are killed.
People die when they are killed. Fuck the gods. That's basically where he's at.
Fate Stay Night gets quoted a lot in Pathfinder games.
I haven't watched that in forever. Gonna have to add that to my list.
Alrighty. So, go ahead and give me a quick impression of what you thought about the live D&D event, because I have a lot to say about the bullshit.
Ooh, and bullshit is an apt summary.
I had to watch it while it was being broadcast by a German man, and after it was done, he yelled in German, and I couldn't speak a word of the language, but I knew he was angry.
Yeah, okay, so where to begin? They plugged the movie.
Right.
Hmm?
Why didn't they plug Baldur's Gate 3?
Exactly. They plugged a video game that was not Baldur's Gate 3. That struck me immediately. I was like, "What? Really?" I guess, like, okay.
Yeah.
They plugged two video games, and neither one of them was Baldur's Gate 3. They plugged Minecraft.
Why do you think they chose Minecraft? Because it's incredibly popular and widely streamed by all audiences and all age groups, right? The perfect thing to promote D&D, huh? Community. We keep saying the word community.
If we say it enough, maybe people will think we believe in it.
What's more D&D than Minecraft?
I don't know if you're looking for an actual answer to that question.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
More D&D than Minecraft, huh? Huh. I don't know. I don't know what you were thinking.
D&D.
D&D
is more D&D than Minecraft.
And it's so unnecessary because there's so many mods that are
And then they had the gall to sell a supplement book that is the Minecraft monsters as D&D monsters.
I know that. That was kind of shameless. I was like, what? Really? People could have stat blocked all that before. Why would I pay for that?
Because it's official now.
Eh,
Don't you have your $200 D&D anniversary sapphire dice?
Listen, I have my dwarven dice. That's all I need.
Well, that's a third party, sir. That's not very community of you.
It is community, just not one that Wizards is a part of. Speaking of uh, useless trinkets, uh, there was also the toy plug,
Yes, yes. Tell
which
me
is, I mean, it's cool if that's what you're into,
it's not.
but no, no. I mean, I get it. Hasbro is a toy company. They're gonna find a way to plug toys somewhere.
How desperate do you need to be to sell D&D to go back to a 1980s cartoon that was never completely finished, thought out, or conceptualized past
Oh my
making
god.
toys?
Uh, I mean, apparently they are reaching into the bottom of the barrel on multiple fronts.
It feels like they're going to be the new Iconics for one D&D. That's what it
Oh
feels
god.
like.
I haven't heard. I forgot about those.
No, don't
Ooh.
forget about one D&D.
Oh no, not one D&D. That that's a whole nother concern. Especially after I saw uh their demonstration for the virtual tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
looked
so
at it and I was like,
tell me
no.
why tell me why you need Unreal Engine 5 for a static map.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I and the first thing I thought as a DM is like, wow, they are going to ruin this game for themselves because the more visual that you put into any tabletop,
Uh-huh.
the more difficult it becomes for the DM to tell the story.
Really? Now, why is that, Iron? I asked as if I didn't know. Why is that?
I
Is
mean,
it because they have the brains of potatoes when they see something shiny?
absolutely. Like, players are going to want to interact with everything on the map.
Yes.
And I mean, that makes sense, which is why DMs make sure that everything on the map is relevant in some way.
So what does that remind you of, Iron? Did you used to play these little click and point games? The little things like Monkey Island or King's Quest that did the
Oh,
exact same thing?
the exact same thing, yes.
We're going backwards.
Super backwards, my god.
So we're in
It doesn't
Unreal Engine 5, but we're playing an adventure game, basically.
uh, one of the things that struck me was that they were like, "Oh, we want the community to build assets with this, that, and the other, blah
Community.
blah." Yeah, and then I remembered there was one particular phrase from the
Yeah.
OGL debacle
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we own everything you make.
Right. And who else did that? Who did they copy that off of? Blizzard Entertainment, that did the same thing with the Warcraft 3 Reforged because of what happened with Ice Frog and all the rest who set up Dota.
Yes, that was the very first thing I thought of, and I was like, wow, they are really going hard into video games and making all the same mistakes.
Oh, God.
And then my favorite thing to crap on here was the announcements for all the books and whatnot that are
Uh-huh.
planned for the rest of this year and next year.
Yes.
I,
Right. Why is next year so important, Iron? Why do we have to reach that far?
They really wanted to lean hard into this year of the dragon 50th anniversary nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, but none of it is what none of it is original content in the sense that it all rehashes old stuff.
Yes, from second edition onwards, like Vecna. We haven't gotten a remake of Die Vecna Die yet, and I feel like that's coming.
There was also like the Planescape book. I'm like, yeah, if that's anything like Spelljammer, I'm gonna pass.
Well, Planescape, you have to consider the Lady of Blades, and the Lady of Blades will outright kill you for even thinking of divine worship or even, like worshiping her. It's not the sort of content that will go well with modern day players.
This is true. Ironically, I am in a game every other Tuesday where the party is working uh, for some company based out of Sigil, and my character is not. He is um, secret. This was the DM's idea,
Yes.
and I was kind of on board with it. Uh, he's kind of in the employ of people who are working for whatever the Lady of Blades' interests are, which apparently runs counter to the rest of the party entirely. So, that's going to be fun. I'm DMing, but not DMing.
Oh god. So, did they not say things about Magic the Gathering? I'm pretty sure they did.
They did. Movie tie-in for yeah, basically crossover between the D&D movie and uh cards for characters from the movie.
Yes.
Which, I mean, mm, Magic has its own problems. Um
And
I'm
NFTs.
Oh god, I can't believe they're still doing that. Uh um
Community.
yeah, they definitely don't know what that word means. But fake it till you make it, I guess.
Speaking of which, did you recognize anyone, even the announcers, up until the point at the end where you saw the two same guys that do everything to do with the announcements?
Um, no.
So you can't tell me who the hostess and the host were before this show. You have never seen them on a D&D broadcast in all the live plays that we've watched, all the D&D, like little segments and news segments that they usually do, that they have those two old guys on at the end with. Those two people didn't exist before today. Or am I imagining things?
See, I've never watched any of their lives before, but
They have
God,
so much talent that they could have pulled from that were known in the community, but they hired these two people to host this segment.
they I have never heard those two names before. And I'm like, okay, this is going to sound terrible, especially coming from me. But it hit me almost immediately when they started talking at the top of the D&D direct.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, it's not two white guys.
Right.
I
They
can
were
already
saving
see
that
what
for
they're
the
doing
end.
here.
Yeah. Just like surprise, we were lurking here the entire time. We still own everything.
Oh god, now I have to go back and watch it because in my mind I'm seeing Statler and Waldorf at the end.
I saw like Mr. Burns and
Smith.
yes, so that's basically what I saw.
Oh my god.
It's just like Smithers, they're here. They made it to the end. We have them.
There was R.A. Salvatore plugging his book
Yes,
and his writing for
which is
the
weird
game.
because
It's
Faerun
very
has been
weird.
completely taken out of the limelight. It's Eberron that was put as the forerunner for D&D 5e.
And
A-
now
They took
everybody's
that
like
away.
Eberron who? Yeah,
Right, they
it's
took that away because of Tasha's Cauldron took everything that made Eberron unique and generalized it for all D&D campaigns because no one wanted to go to Eberron just to be an artificer or things like that. No one wanted to buy the Eberron book just to get that. They wanted a supplement like oh, what was it? The book, the handbook that said the crafting and stuff, like the
oh
Beholder
like
book.
um Mordenkainen's
Yeah, Mordenkainen's or something
or
like.
or or or, or no Volo's. Yeah, Volo's Guide to Everything.
You see, I can't even name all the materials, and that's bad because there's too many.
That there really is, and apparently it's not gonna get any better.
Well, that's how 3.5 went. They oversaturated the market with all the supplements, and then they went to 4E and everything crashed. That's my prediction for 1D&D at this point because they say you're going to be able to use your stuff from 5E into that, but there's no way. There's no way they can do it that seamlessly and call it another edition.
Oh, absolutely not. I saw the druid changes. There's no fucking way.
Oh, they changed Druid. That's what I'll look at that later
Whew. Yeah,
before this
we'll
becomes a D&D discussion altogether.
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah. So, I told you that Quaid's character got killed by Tony, right?
Yes.
So, the first question I asked Chat GPT, and this is nice, the artificial intelligence actually knew to do this. I'm not sure why, but I prompted it. Tony murdered Quaid in our last game session. Please describe an encounter to continue the session using Pathfinder 2E, TTRPG system, and describe it using fantasy elements of a sword and sorcery campaign in the world of Golarion. The first thing Chat GPT said, "I'm sorry to hear that Quaid was murdered in your game." And I'm going like,
Apparently it happens. Apparently it happens often enough.
I guess. And this is nice because I didn't give it any information whatsoever. So directly pulled this out of the ether, and you can see this under the original Chat GPT requests channel, and then the demo, the one at the top, is the one we're going to use immediately after this. It built an entire encounter around the world wound and an adventure for them to do after the murder happened. Completely different from the campaign that we're running with Plaguestone, but I'm still impressed with what it did, so I decided to give it something more focused.
Oh, okay.
So basically how I use it for the fourth one, this is not 3.5 because 3.5 isn't as advanced as this one.
Mm-hmm.
I just ask it questions like it's a sounding board when I prep to see if I can use the ideas or have it be inspiring or whatnot. But the results were kind of scary. The next question.
Good scary.
Oh, go ahead.
Good scary or bad scary?
Well, that you're gonna see as you look along with what I did, and I'm gonna ask you to prompt it too.
Huh.
But you're gonna use 3.5,
Okay.
and you're gonna see the difference between the two.
Okay.
All right. So next, I asked it. The party needs to investigate a murder committed in the town of Plaguestone in the world of Golarion. So this is a pre-made module. The one that they're currently playing right now is level 1s. The method used was poisoning turnip porridge in a tavern. Where can the party go next to find the culprit? And it actually gave good ideas on where to go and the reasonings to go along with it. It suggested that
Oh,
they go to the blacksmith, that there might be a society of dark wizards nearby with methods of assassins. And another possible lead is to go to the local herbologist that noticed that the deadly plant known as nightshade recently had a lot of purchases in town. It's just and it even says that the murder victim, Quaid's character, had a grudge with a wealthy merchant in the area. Like it was starting to establish a repertoire with NPCs and the party.
interesting.
So I was really taken by that. And at that point, I'm going, there's no way it could possibly build an entire module on its own. So I decide to break it.
As one does.
So I asked it to create a adventure module, levels 1 through 10, stat blocks, NPCs, personalities, adventure hooks, a puzzle or set of riddles in TTRPG Pathfinder 2nd Edition World of Galarian, focused in the country of Taldor. And it did it.
Oh, really?
It built an entire list of 3 very important NPCs who I used for the entirety of the example that it described, elaborated, built the narrative around, and then even did encounters, a puzzle, everything I asked for. So at this point, I'm going like, this is better than the writing I usually see from Piazzo.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, this is the perfect GM's companion tool. I am a lazy man. This will do it for me. So it gave me everything from adventure hooks to the personalities of the NPCs to their physical descriptions that I could use as other prompts in imaging AI to get the NPCs and the locations.
Oh,
And
nice.
I checked and did some examples. You can build battle maps in the AI as well.
Really?
Yes.
You know, that shouldn't surprise me nearly as much, considering, you know, Mid-Journey and
That
that sort
was
of thing.
Midjourney has a lot of good D&D tokens as well.
Because there's like a lot of assets that are free, just kind of like here and there and everywhere. Huh?
Well, if you
Okay.
want to use what you produce, you have to buy the subscription. That's why I
Mhm.
made sure to subscribe to the Chat GPT just for the month so I could see what I could get out of it. And so far it's been good. If I had Nitro, if I paid the $10 a month for Nitro, I'd have 4,000 characters instead of 2,000, and I'd be getting a whole lot more out of it.
Oh, okay.
It even named the module the Raven's Feather Heist. It built an entire heist around the Grand Soiree, an NPC who's trying to make Taldor great again, and it built the artifact known as the Raven's Feather that somehow has the power to make Taldor great again. But it doesn't say how. Because I haven't asked it how yet. You're going to ask how in the demo channel.
Oh boy.
But you're not
Okay,
going to
that does
use
sound.
GPT-4. You're going to use GPT 3.5, and we're gonna see the difference between the two. It even gave the NPC stat blocks, and for the hazards, it gave the correct level DCs for the challenges.
Wow.
Yeah, it gave their traits. It gave basically fun and engaging activities For the Grand Soiree, it gave social activities, it gave suggestions what the players can do to have fun and gain social points. It built an entire social point subsystem. It gave me the national anthem of Taldor, and it's catchy as hell.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been looking everywhere for the Taldorian anthem, and it's not even in the novel, it's just mentioned there. This thing wrote it in 30 seconds. And you can see that under demo. Yeah, it gave a list of things that the PCs will need, like fancy attire and disguises. It gave a chase sequence after they get the artifact.
Huh.
It did a lot. It even developed one of the NPCs into being a spy master to help them. There's a bard with a troubled past as well. It gave details for the spy network's most notable operation and why they're so well known in Taldor and why they're important to the country.
Oh wow. Okay. Huh. Before this, I was thinking, wow, trying to write a module in Pathfinder when I don't know nearly as much about Pathfinder as I would like feels impossible.
It really isn't. Remember what we discussed about system agnostic. Once you write it, then you can go through with the system elements and incorporate it that way. That's how every TTRPG should be. You should never write it for the system. You write it agnostically, and then you bring the system into it.
This seems like it would definitely help.
It does. It really does. Guess how many pages of material I got out of this thing before I basically said I have to walk away now and think about my life.
I'm gonna say 15.
14 pages.
Ah, it's close.
Yep, 14 pages of it seems genuinely fun too. It even created its own hazard and its own challenge, its own little puzzle for the PCs to do. And it seems like a very fun puzzle that can be done visually.
And, I mean, people have listened before. They know that I am not a puzzle guy. But I actually... Which is ironic because, the vision.
Well, yeah, but this one's easily described because it goes off of a sequence, and the sequence itself has combinations. So even if you can't see the colors from the puzzle, you can still say what the possible combinations are. So it gave you two methods, visually or verbally, to solve it, rather than mechanically. And that is what the AI interpreted as fun and engaging, because you're engaging two senses.
It's not wrong.
It even gave a collapsing chandelier hazard, along with the glyph combination puzzle. I'm very impressed by it. So, I want you to go into the demo channel.
Okay.
All right.
I'm already there.
Type /chat. And you're going to see two passages there. Message and model. Under message, I want you to ask, how will the raven's feather make Taldor great again? Question mark.
Taldor?
Taldor. Yep. Taldor, the best country ever. Definitely not racist.
Definitely not.
And
Don't know why anybody would think that.
And under model, when you click that, click Chat GPT 3.5 because you're going to see the difference between what 3.5 and 4 can do.
Okay, model chat.
Because everything I've used it for has been 4, and it has been fantastic. Because it's reached a new level where it can process the information and give ideas.
Okay, Chat GPT 3.5, no spaces.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you just click on it, and it gives you
Oh.
the option.
Oh, hold on, because I typed it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to type anything under model. It should just give you the options. 3.5 is at the top.
It is not giving me an option.
This is how you type it.
Oh, there it is. There we go. 3.5.
All right. Now press enter, and it's going to think. Now, in the meantime, while it's thinking and it's processing, based on what we've discussed about what little we know about the NPCs and everything, and that the players themselves are going to go after this artifact to help make Taldor great again, what do you think the artifact might do? What do you think that the AI is going to come up with?
Ooh, Let's see. Well, not knowing a whole lot about Taldor in general.
Are you sure you pressed enter? I don't see anything processing.
It said, oh, the application did not respond. Oh, that's weird.
Nope, that's pretty normal too. It breaks all the time.
Oh, okay. Try again. I think it's just going to brainwash everyone in Taldor in order to make them think. If they think the country is great, then it is great, because, you know, that's basically how America works. So, I can see the same thing happening here.
That's
Just with
parallel.
magical mind.
That's paralleling real life with fantasy. That never happens.
Never happened.
Did it go through this time?
It did not.
Huh, that's very weird. Maybe the server is down. Let me try. It would be very embarrassing for the AI not to be working at this time when I decided to showcase it.
It has performance anxiety.
I guess so. How will the Raven's Feather make Taldor great again? And I'm going to use Chat GPT 4 on my end because I want you to use 3.5. All right, sending command. Application did not respond.
Ooh.
Wow, I paid for nothing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me check Turing AI system status. Chat GPT is down. And it's been down for 2.5 hours. Well, the AI is not going to come up with anything. So, Iron, I think we'll go with your idea. It's going to brainwash people. Here I was about to advocate that AI was going to replace jobs and make writing easier, but no, it's just like any other machine. It needs a restart. It needs to be smacked. I feel disappointed for $10. $5. Excuse me, $5.
Yeah, I wasn't. And I guess in a lot of ways I'm still not completely sold on the AI thing, but then I kind of, in researching it a little bit more yesterday, I realized why.
But it's not
the tool. It's not the tool I have a problem with. It's the people behind it that always seem to be the problem.
Why is that? Are they evil? Is this a conspiracy? What's the thing?
Evil is a strong term.
I use it liberally.
No, it's like, how do I put that?
Evil. Community.
Ah, God, it's I I don't want to be harsh, but that's kind of accurate. Um, it's more like there is no ethical corporate use for AI.
That's because there are no laws for it yet. Remember the Matrix? Remember what happened when the machines had to fight back for their civil rights? That's never happened before in human history. Why would we mistreat people when we can get things out of them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like I was just like doing casual research looking into how far back people have been trying this. Back to like 2013, at least. I don't know if you remember this,
I do.
but
Remember the bots that people set up? It was called Alice, and it was extremely rude. Alice
oh
was a bot
god,
in chats that could respond to people, and it was mainly mean.
I do remember that. Wow. I was thinking about this startup in New York that thought they were going to replace convenience stores with AI run vending machines.
Right, and that's why there's no more cashiers, right?
Hmm. Yeah. See how that worked out. Uh. Oops. I had a whole bunch of examples. It was like a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, what's the best use for AI that we currently have? That what's the thing that's benefiting us the most right now that isn't down like this server that I paid $5 for?
Ah, God. I mean, it definitely makes writing easier. Um. Oh, like one of the current uses of it is to make translation easier, but that kind of put, you know, people who studied languages for a living, kind of put them in a really rough spot.
That's a good one. I was going to say advertising.
During the during the whole time when I found out that Midjourney got sued is when somebody was basically talking about what AI did to the translation industry.
Mhm.
And it made me think about it. I was like, wow, that's something I would have never because that's something I would have never thought of because I know is uh Google and Microsoft both are investing into AI for
Right.
search engines,
Yes. And they're in big time composition competition for each other.
which is amazing because who uses Microsoft search engine? Nobody. But now
Edge.
people might. Well, yeah.
Edge has gotten a little bit better than Microsoft Explorer, a little bit.
I still only use Microsoft Edge when I want to look at a PDF because the text to speech function in
Mhm.
browser is actually really good. And I couldn't help but think, wow, it might actually be better because of AI, which makes my life way easier.
See, my example was advertising, and every time that I go to a website or I go somewhere, it's just like the internet knows exactly what I want to buy, what I have bought, and then the algorithm advertises it to me. That is where I see the most AI being used is advertisement and selling people things.
Oh, absolutely. How I mean, social media in general is
Mhm.
apparently in trouble because of their algorithm.
Not Twitter. Twitter's just dying.
Hmm. Yeah, Twitter's just dying a slow death. Yeah, it'll only get faster depending on what happens with this whole TikTok ban.
It's a very telling instance when the CEO of Twitch and the CEO of YouTube step down within the same week. When the captain leaves the ship, that's an extremely bad sign because neither of them can retain responsibility for the security of any of their users, let alone with what happened on YouTube with the broadcasting of like the terrorists and everything and hosting those videos.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that Supreme Court case. Like, yeesh. But that just comes right around to people not, well, either not wanting to hire actual people to do the job, or having entirely too much volume to be able to reasonably do it.
Well, the thing that's part of the downtrend that's happening right now is that people who were hired in the bloat from the pandemic because everyone had to work from home, so they needed those jobs to fill those spaces while people were using all these services. Now they don't need them. So of course Amazon laid off. Of course YouTube laid off. There's no reason to have those positions anymore.
Yep.
And I think Twitch itself lost several hundred. Now they don't have their CEO. And then the entirety of YouTube's policy has changed, especially with curse words. But we don't
Really?
have the curse word thing changed. You're allowed to say all the curse words again. You can't say the super, bad stuff, You can't say
Hmm.
I can't say what you can say, but you can't say those words still.
I think we both know what you can and can't say,
Oh.
because yeah, well, we're adults. We know.
Yes. The AI knows too. If only the AI were working. I'm sorry, sir. I called you here for basically nothing, but at least I did everything in advance. The research and the module and everything together. I have proven it can write a level 1 module introduction to Pathfinder 2nd edition, along with hazards, a chase scene, a subsystem, everything, the NPCs, the personalities. Next time, we'll try to get their images generated because wouldn't you know it, the first thing to break was the image generator that I paid for. Now the Chat
Oof.
GPT thing is down, and I'm starting to think that although it's the worst it's ever going to be, it can only get better from here, and I've had some pretty surprising results. It was worth $5 for the month just to get these 14 pages, let alone what else I can do with it if the server actually comes back up.
I'm kind of tempted to try it for this dungeon idea that I had. I've already written it, but I mean, I kind of want to see what Chat GPT does with the information. Uh, but I won't say that we did this for nothing. I'm glad that we are on the same page about Wizards nonsense. Um,
Well, Wizards nonsense began before the live announcement. I'm surprised people forgave them in order to have the presentation. There was no direct apology. There was just this is a victory for us both. And then they just went back into their offices like nothing happened.
right? Oh god, and
No one held them responsible.
this happened on Twitter like a couple weeks ago. The person who broke the story about the OGL,
Yeah.
after the whole D&D summit was announced, she basically was on Twitter saying something about the people, the influencers and whatnot that were being invited to this summit were quote unquote clout chasers.
Well, yeah, they couldn't have the real people that would speak out against it. You have people that want to promote something in order to further their own career. These are not the passionate people like you or I who are small-time chump nobodies who just want to play the game and actually play it with players. These people are going to host games or be part of games and not know what the hell they're doing, like Matt Mercer and all his voice actor friends who can't possibly be bothered to, read a book or reference a rule. They're just going to go, well, my character does this magnificent thing, and they just say it in such a way with their voice acting skills, and that's good enough to entertain people, to distract them from the fact that they can't play the game.
What's wild is I actually started watching Critical Role yesterday.
I did too. I got caught up with the whole Tiberius crap.
I'm looking at this and I'm just like, this couldn't be my table. No fucking way.
It's not going to be anyone's table because everyone plays D&D differently. And Joe Cat does this too. Everyone who broadcasts D&D does D&D light. Because if you host a session like I do in Pathfinder 2nd Edition or D&D 5e like I did with Empire of Ghouls, you have vicious rules lawyers at the table going like, no, this is what the book says. No, I get this. I have this. No, you gotta give me this. Now you have to give me this. It's just like you never hear an entertainer say that. There's just yes and. Because they're improving. That's all they're doing.
Just improving with a rule set as kind of a guideline, basically.
Yes. So they don't have the same structure as a normal table does, first of all. The way that Matt Mercer, Joe Cat, and all the rest do their games is, we're going to have fun, and we're mainly focusing on pretty pictures and what the players themselves can contribute to the adventure. Whereas if I go into one of your games, what's the first thing the mage will ask?
What's the first thing the mage will ask?
He's asked it in every game.
Oh, that mage.
Yes.
You know what? He asks a lot. Not so much lately, so I'm not sure.
Well, I remember him asking, is it magic? What type of magic is it? What if I do this with it?
Oh, okay, yeah, we were thinking two different things.
So, and all the broadcasts that you have watched of the entertainers, when they find out something is magic, it usually stops the conversation there, and it's just like, oh, okay, I'll just take it. Or, like, oh, it's magic, so it must be for something. Whereas you get someone who's basically a mage, and I have to know everything about this item right now, this second.
Yeah, I used to have that same habit with mages. Oh god, I've seen it in podcasts too, where it's like somebody will be doing something and then somebody else will be like, oh, I'm gonna cast guidance on him real quick.
Yeah.
That doesn't normally happen in games because most DMs will be like, hey, you're casting guidance. It's very obvious and it takes 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you can just like do with a touch. I mean, unless you have like quicken spell and subtle spell, but who's doing that? Who's spending sorcery points for that?
I'm thinking of more real-life examples when you see someone lifting up a heavy bag and then you just suddenly appear over to them. It's just like, here, let me help you with that. How many times have you done that when you've seen someone carrying something heavy? For me,
Literally
I just look at
never.
them. I just maintain eye contact.
Yeah, because, minding one's own business is a thing
That
people
sure does.
do.
That sure does look heavy.
I
I
mean,
would not cast guidance.
I mean, I might. It depends on the situation,
Uh-huh.
but it's like, you good, man?
You
If I
good?
see somebody, if I see somebody struggling with it, I might offer to help.
They're dying on the floor, dying 3. It's just like, you good, man? You need guidance?
Or in the middle of a conversation, you're trying
Uh,
to cast charm person on somebody. It's like, they're gonna see you casting the spell.
They're gonna hear you casting the spell.
Yeah, and then okay, and then a fight starts.
Mm.
Now you just gotta hope you roll initiative really high. Hope they don't go before you.
It's good that Pathfinder has different rules for charm and suggestion and all that, because it's just people have been so corrupted by D&D 5e that it leaks into other systems with this is how it's supposed to work, and it's just like, no. First of all, Ask the Sage was a thing because they never clearly described how certain spells worked. And some of them were so badly described that they leaked over into other systems when those spells were rewritten for those systems.
Mhm. And I've seen this in Pathfinder too, because uh, everybody else who's playing a spellcaster, well, first of all, they hated the idea behind prepared spells,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, so you actually have to think about how and in what combinations you might actually use the spells that you have. Huh. And they're, oh, these cantrips, oh, they all kind of suck. I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
Not really.
So that's another thing that comes up with MMO, like ability bloat. They want all these abilities. They want all these spells per day. They don't like the per day limit. The short rest with the focus spells helps, but no one will rely on the cantrips unless they're down to their dregs. Because
I've
again,
heard,
D&D has put it into their heads that cantrips are not powerful spells, even though they'll
like
level up with you.
I have already gotten in 2 combats for a level 1 character. I've already gotten tremendous use out of my cantrip.
Did you
Just
take Electric Arc?
oh, of course.
Yes. That
But
explains it.
yeah, and I took electric arc because I'm like, I see Lander take this all the time. It's got to be good.
My
So
God, Lander's the example. It's just like this 16-year-old child has taught me how to play the game. Me, a 42-year-old man that I've been playing for 20 years. Surely he's the chosen one.
surely. And that I took stabilize too. That
Mm-hmm.
was a good one.
That saves people. That's the
Yeah,
guidance for dying.
yeah, because the sorcerer went down, and I was like, shame. DM was basically, oh, we're just gonna stay in combat,
You have to,
and
because
the
he's
whole
dying.
yeah, the whole thing was basically we were still going in turn order because we were playing the beginner box, so we're all kind of learning the rules together more or
Yes.
less. So I'm like, okay, I think this would be a good time to teach him what dying is like.
That's a very harsh lesson indeed. Are you sure he's going to learn from that?
Probably not, because
No.
for a second, because of the way the initiative order ran, I was almost tempted to let him hit dying 2 first. And I was like, no, let me not do that. So I stabilized him,
Mm-hmm.
then did my risky surgery nonsense.
You didn't have battle medicine?
No,
Oh.
I refused to take battle medicine because I did not want to play a healer. And they don't know better, so it's fine.
Oh God. It's
I
it's
started
weird.
to.
It's weird that you need the role of tank and healer at all still. It's just like, well, we have to have this, otherwise people die. And it's just like, yes, adventurers die. That's why
Yeah,
adventurers are dangerous.
it's one of the things that I've kind of grown to dislike about MMO design in general is that holy trinity of classes:
Yeah.
tank, healer, DPS in every single MMO. Even like s- old MMOs that don't exist anymore, like Terra. I enjoyed that game when it was out, but no matter how versatile the classes were, it always came down to tank, healer, DPS. Like I played a healer that basically uh I think it was like some kind of water aligned healer,
Mm-hmm.
uh extremely efficient in group healing. So whenever group events would happen, uh my healing just kind of had a splash effect. It would heal one
Ha ha
person and then
ha.
everyone around them would would heal as well.
Yes. Like
And
chain
I could
heal. Yeah.
yeah, and I could switch specs in to a uh, fire based healer. It gave the person I was healing a barrier that prevented damage rather than heal them, and depleting the barrier would actually deal damage based on how much damage the person took. It was actually really neat, but just rehashing of the same three tropes.
That's the big problem, because the whole thing about the party dynamic is to get them to rely on each other, and they won't do that unless they know they can get something out of each other. It's strange how the mentality works in an MMO or on the table, is that you have to teach people that they need each other. Like, you have to actually teach grown adults that if you cooperate, you will get the thing, as opposed to if just want to solo the game, which is where Final Fantasy XIV is going right now, to make you able to solo the game.
Oh dear.
And they're making
That's
Storm. Oh, go ahead.
I said, wow, that's not encouraging at all.
No. And Stormblood is going to be free up until the 8th of April. And their their new patch is going to make it so that Stormblood gets the duty support. So you can solo all the way through Stormblood and get until, Shadowbringers.
Huh. Don't know if I like that.
I think it's a good idea to bring in new players. The problem is that, and I've seen this before because I've gifted a sub to a streamer who didn't like ARR and gave me the exact reasons why it's flawed, which is exactly what I wanted. The content that is front loaded, the beginning of the game, the reason why players quit in the first hour is because you are so limited in what you can do and so pigeonholed into what they want you to do, including those roles,
Yes.
basically turns them off to the game. So the first hour of your game, which is the most important, doesn't let you do much of anything.
No, it's like super linear and kind of boring. Like,
You watch a movie. You basically watch a movie, and that's not engaging for people. And I feel like the TTRPGs have that too, where you have to sit someone down and explain to them, look, session 0, you've got to have this in your party. You've got to have people who, like, provide this or provide that, and at that point you kind of like lose new players. That's why you have the pre-made character sheets done, but at the same time they're going, what can I actually do? And I'm seeing that right now in the Plague Stone thing with Meow 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 Meow. That's her name.
Huh.
That's I did not make that up. Her thing is meow 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 meow. She has like 2 or 3 cats.
I, see now I'm curious. Like I have I have got to start watching these games.
And they're all on the VODs. It's okay. I will give you the highlight one. I will give you the highlight reel. Let let me see. Hang on. It's actually the top content right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, that's not the one. That's copyright. Here we go. This one had Tony in it, and the ones with Tony are very very good. Here, I'll put it in memes for you. I am so sorry that the service went down, sir. I did all my research and got everything ready, and I forgot to check the status of the server. Like, I paid $5 and I knew I was going to get this service.
Oh, that's all right. We can try it next time. Ooh.
Well, we don't need to. It's already done. It's just that I wanted you to actively use it at the same time that we were discussing it.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted you to try and get you to use it, but you can put it in your own server by attaching it on an app through the server's like app applications like ChatGPT. So you can have it and then set up a channel just for it. Don't allow it to ban users because you have to check those things off, because if you give it mod powers, it will ban people. And it tried to ban Tony when it found out Tony murdered Quaid. It tried to correct the problem. It thought that he had actually murdered Tony. Quaid, excuse me.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, I will solve the problem for you, Bramble.
Oh, that's low-key terrifying, actually.
Yes. Logically, in its little processor, it went like, this murderer, no.
Oh, that's funny.
Because it thought that Tony was in violation of its usage by using it for murder. It did not understand it was a game. It only understood what I told it.
That's incredible. Also, I saw that the second playtest for the Project Black Flag came out.
Yes, I've been over that, and I'm not impressed, unfortunately.
Me either.
I feel like we've watered down the system, and that you're basically transferring Zobek and everything else, all the elements, into this multiverse world where you can hop like Planescape between all these campaign settings, and it's just like, if you come to Project Black Flag, you can play wherever you want. You can go to Eberron, and then tomorrow you can go to Zobek, and after that you could go to Faerun. They're all connected. It's just like, oh, all right.
Why? That's Midgard was so good on its own. Why does it?
They figured that the appeal is going to be that you can choose whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. They did not do anything with the success and failure system like Pathfinder did. They did nothing to enhance the actual, like classes or whatnot beyond what they've been homogenized for. They didn't do anything with the spell casting to make it more unique. They've just basically repackaged it and said, here, play test this. I don't need to play test this. I've been playing this for the last 7 years.
Right, like, just... I'm not really holding out a whole lot of hope for 3 and 4.
Well, hopefully, they'll release some sort of test module, and that will change my mind. Because the things I'm looking for is an actual adventure to play and test, and the success and failure system.
Mm-hmm. And I guess it's not too late for them to add that. It is a playtest after all.
Right, right. They've they've gotten their feet in the water and they haven't really done anything. They've just been basically making announcements.
Mm.
And that's just generating like hype or whatnot, but there's no way that could compare to the D&D live event. And once the D&D live event happened, we were all disappointed again.
Oh yeah.
And
As we knew we would be.
right. So tell me when Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out.
Hell if I know.
It's coming out in summer 2023, sir. But you didn't hear that from the D&D live event.
No, I didn't.
And Larian has been strangely quiet.
Wait, who?
Larian, the company that is making Baldur's Gate 3.
Right, yeah. See, yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
I mean, I honestly, like, I knew it was gonna be bad when they announced that they were going to be making this direct, and then I realized that Kyle Brink has been basically running around the third-party community in general on various podcasts and whatnot, doing his whole like not an apology but apology tour.
Oh. So that's where it happened. It didn't happen on D&D Live. It happened on third parties directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw. He did a couple of them.
Could you link me a cup? Could you link me one or two? Because I would like to take a look at them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I did not know this was happening, because I thought they would actually do this on, say, their Twitter or their actual website, and they did not.
Oh, yeah, one is on a podcast I regularly listen to, and then one I just happened upon on YouTube from a creator who does like adventure ideas and stuff on her channel.
Definitely share both with me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not going to take me a whole lot to find them.
All right, sir. I've taken enough of your time, especially for a magic AI, which appears to be broken. Next time, if the imager is working, we will put all the descriptors that we've received into the imaging device. We will get a battle map, NPC portraits, RPG icons, and handouts.
Nice.
So we will get the entirety of this level 1 adventure for new Pathfinder 2nd edition players entirely from AI. And then we will cobble it together in Foundry and see what we can do with it. We'll even get it to generate tokens for us.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do you want to tell the people?
I don't, but I will. I am Iron Bear Jones. You can find me on Twitter for the time being, Mastodon. I have a coffee and a Patreon.
You have a card made too. I saw you finally made the card.
Yeah, it's been sitting on my iPad for like a couple weeks. I was like, you know what? I hear enough about how I don't promote anything that I do, so let me just go ahead and put this out there.
I'm not the only one saying that.
No, you're not. The person who edits my stuff has also said that, and I'm like, yeah,
because they're starving.
Like, this is so weird for me to say as a marketing major, but it feels a lot like bragging to me when I do it.
It's not. It's literally your job.
I mean, it is now.
Also, now that I know you're a marketing major and I actually know someone in marketing, I have things for you to market. Why didn't you fucking tell me? I could say that on YouTube now. Community.
It never comes up.
It came up now. I needed it. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Hopefully you will be able to play with the imager next time. I'll be sure to get that. It's only $10. I think I'm going to subscribe to that next, and we can really play with the AI and see what it can do.
All right. I will be here, and thank you for having me, sir.
No, thank you for coming. Especially when the thing was the broken, apparently.
Stuff breaks. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not going to take over the world yet, apparently, if it needs to be maintenance like this.
Now get Boston Dynamics